Hi Blender fans, and welcome once again to Blender DC. In the last tutorial we made the pumpkin shape to actually put ourselves a face on. This is a quick and simple tutorial, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to actually separate the stalk from the actual pumpkin, and what we can do is just select one face on there and select similar, and I'm just going to select similar from material. So that just selects that. Press the P key just to separate this out by selection. So now we've actually G and Z, we've actually changed the actual shape. We've separated by selecting different materials our stalk from our pumpkin. Control Z, undo just to put it back into place. But as you can see, these items are now separate. One I'm going to call pumpkin, and the other one I'm going to just call it stalk. I'll just call it stalk, just to actually make them easier. It's easier to name things and actually find things out on your models. Hide the pumpkin, hide the stalk, look from the top, add in an object, and the mesh is going to be a plane. Just going to scale this up. I did this on an A4 piece of paper, so scale in the Y direction, just make it that kind of shape, and G and Z just to move it into the background. And I'm just going to put a new texture on here, hit the base color dot, image texture, and then select the image from my file. Just open this, and I think I called it carve in JPEG or carve JPEG. As you can see, that's just the face I've got, and I'm going to quickly and easily just make a face. Now this is that you actually add in a mesh, and the mesh you add in is a cube, and then go into edit mode. And what I'm going to do, because we're on face select, we need to be, you got face select, line select, and point select. Go on to point select and right click and merge vertices at center. What's that done is actually put the cube points all into one at the center there, and all I need to do is just G and move the actual orange dot to the corner of the mouth there. And I'm going to put this into time lapse just so you can actually see what we're going to do. But what we're going to do is extrude round the teeth all the way around the mouth, and at the end we're going to fill it in. As you can see, I'm just going to actually do this, and we'll put this now into time lapse. As you can see, I'm just following this round, just making a rough face. Obviously this is for Halloween, and it's just showing you a technique. And select that point and the end point, and just press F to fill. A will select all the points, and F will fill. And then you're going to just duplicate this point here, so Shift and D, and just move it into the corner of this eye. As you can see, because I've hand drawn this, the actual lines are not even or uniform, and that's what you might want from your pumpkin face. And of course this technique can be used on the pumpkin. Now select the 2 points, and then press the F key. L to select all these points around this edge, and F to fill. And same with this last one. Shift and D. The little flickers that you see from time to time is just the shadows readjusting because it's in Eevee. So we now got our face. What I'm going to do is actually go into edit mode. I'm going to select the faces. 1, 2, 3, E to it, and press the 2 key. As you can see, we've now made our face. And just a bit of cleaning up, I'm just going to actually go into the edit mode, press A to select all, and mesh, go on normals, and recalculate the outside, because sometimes you get some weird things happen when you're actually creating something, because we're going to use this as a Boolean object. So recalculate the outside just to make sure it'll work properly. Press the tab key to come out of edit mode. Select our drawing down there, and X just to delete it because we no longer need it. Rotate this in the X direction, which is along the red line, by 90 degrees, and then Alt and H will fetch back our pumpkin, and G and Z just to fetch our face up into play. Press the 1 key, scale it down until your face is in the correct position, looking from the front. G and Z. So we've now got our pumpkin, kept this stalk separate, and what we're going to do is we're now going to cut our face out of our pumpkin by simply adding a Boolean. So go into the spanner or wrench, add a modifier, and the modifier is the Boolean modifier. And what we're going to do is actually select our face. So I'm just going to rename it face just to keep it current. So select that, get your eyedropper and select it on face, and if we hide our face, hold on a minute, I don't think I did that properly, and if we actually hide our face, as you can see, it's now put that out of our face like so. So I'm just going to apply the modifier, apply like that. So we've now got our face, and add another modifier into it, add a modifier, and solidify. As you can see, this has now fetched some really nasty bits up onto this, but we can cure this quite easily. But I'm just going to actually increase the thickness of this, just to its the desired thickness, like that. Move my stalk up a bit, G and Z, just maybe scale it up slightly as well, and G and Z, just to move it into place, just where I like it. And finally, just to actually make our face look a little bit better, what we're going to do is go into this upturned triangle down here, because we've applied the actual modifiers to our, oh no, we haven't applied the modifier. I'm just going to apply this modifier, so that looks absolutely terrible. But the reason it looks terrible is because we've got some bad topology in place. Now, if you're making artwork, we could spend hours actually making this topology good on our face by making this all into quads. But because we're just making a little piece of artwork that we want to put in our scene, there is a quick fix, and the quick fix is this upturned triangle, and we go onto a thing called normals, auto smooth normals, and by increasing or lowering this, as you can see, it changes things. And so we do it just until our lines of our geometry just about vanish. You can see they're starting to vanish. When they've all vanished to your delight, you can just leave it there and add in a simple light, point light, and G and Z, make it a yellow flamey coloured 500, and there you have it. We've made ourselves a pumpkin face, and then all you've got to do is actually adjust your lighting, add some atmospheric lighting, usually an HDRI, maybe a texture to your pumpkin. That's quickly and simply shows you how we actually created and modelled our simple pumpkin and put a light inside it. And we've got ourselves a simple pumpkin, like I say, and of course the textures that you add to the pumpkin. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. I say, still a bit dodgy this one, but you get the idea.